like to take just a few minutes before you go out and guzzle lemonade and let you know about one of the other parties in the creative effort to put this show together. I've been a member here at Theater West for 42 years, and my great regret in all that time is that I've never had a chance to work with the man who directed this play. He's one of the kindest and most intelligent and most interesting people I've ever met. Born in Cairo, Egypt. The Egyptians are here. He studied under the great directing master Youssef Chahine, appeared in Chahine's classic film Cairo Station. If you've ever seen a sitcom on American television, you have probably seen his work because he has directed a great many of them following his years at Yale and teaching at Antioch College. And he's got a really fine career behind him, and I hope ahead of him, directing theater. And I would like to introduce to you the kind of nice Asaad Kelada. We're going to take a very brief time here to talk a little bit and sit on these incredibly comfortable working chairs and find out a little bit about what went into the creation of this play. And welcome back to Theater West.
Thank you. About 40 years later.
First off, I would like to ask you what drew you to this play, and the idea of bringing it to fruition on the stage here.
Barbara Beery, to begin with, she contacted me about maybe 3 years ago, a little more. Asked me if I would be interested in reading the play of hers, and I said yes. So we met in Studio City, and after I had read the play, and we started talking about the storyline, her thoughts, what she wanted to express and address with it. And what caught my attention was it's a period piece, but there was something about it that resonated long past 1952, and it dealt with issues that are universal and resonant to all of us today, actually. So it was the subject matter, the writing, just the essence of those people. The play was still not quite fully formed, and as we both agreed at the time, whose play was it, where was it heading, what's the through line, and so forth. So over the period of these 3 years, Barbara and I kept meeting and talking, and she would write and discuss the writing. And finally, about 6 months ago, she said she really wanted to see the play on its feet, and it was getting ready to be there. So she asked me if I directed, and I very willingly said yes, and here we are.
Here we are. How do you approach a play like this? I know that your theater background is deep in a wide variety of genres and approaches, whether it be comedy or drama, and your television career is thick with comedy work. How do you approach a play past productions to look at to say, well, they did this and they found some interesting ideas and I'd like to explore them. This is a brand new play that has never been seen. How do you approach it?
What captured my full attention were the people, were the characters. These eight lives populate the play, and it was what was most interesting about it to me, and also what was most difficult about the play, because the play doesn't have a compelling plot line, through line of what's going to happen next, and so forth. It's a gentle play. It is an internal play. So that was what interested me about it, and that's what challenged me as a director. How do you keep that alive? How do you keep that compelling for an hour and 20 minutes, 25 minutes, when you can look at it and say, but nothing's really happening. So to me, it was about 8 lives that go through a transformation over a period of 24 hours. There were eight lives, 8 stories that are being told. And when a catalyst comes in, as with Harris's unexpected appearance, it puts into motion all kinds of unexpected, unresolved issues, and that becomes the event of the play. But for me, it was how are these 8 stories going to be told, and how does each of these 8 people keep moving forward or address the challenges and face what has been unresolved and unspoken for so long. And so finally, when it's out in the open, how do you deal with it? How do you move on? So that became the what will happen next. But it was essential for me that the audience become involved in these people. And so from the very first time we all met for a table read, the most important thing for me was that we move away from histrionics, which we all are prone to fall into. It's exciting to have drama. It's exciting to have confrontations and be angry and be upset and cry. And this is not what the voice of the play is, because it is about suppressed emotions and suppressed lives that have not had their say because of one reason or another. And that was really hard, because the tendency is to want to play the dramatic moment. How do you not say what you want to say? And that was really the through line of our work together, and the through line of my continuing interest in the play. As a director, it was a new challenge in some ways. How do you deal with the unspoken rather than the spoken?
There's so much unspoken in this play, at least at the beginning. There's that uniquely American quality of repression, of both emotion and verbalizing that emotion. And there are so many secrets in the play. Did you have trouble balancing those, because they come up in various places and yet they all eventually impact the resolution?
That was what challenged me, is to kind of prompt or encourage the actors to trust themselves so that they don't reveal the secrets too soon, because they haven't been allowed to be revealed yet. So that aspect of it was a very powerful through line for me. But the emotional repression that you talk about, or the cultural repression, was also one of the interesting dichotomies that I wanted to explore a bit. I come from a culture where, as an Egyptian, emotions are, you're always hugging and kissing and expressing and crying and just my sister was visiting and I was with my girlfriend and I was with my sister said, no, we were joking. We were talking about things that happened at home, because it's always above board. And so and I think there is a tendency on stage is to be this large, be this big. So this really was a different kind of voice language that I had not really worked with for an entire play that is about the gradual unfolding, and how just to make it authentic. So we're involved in the people, not in their emotional catharsis.
So you found it somewhat different from directing Rhoda or The Office?
It was slightly offbeat, yes. It was more than faster, quicker. We have 7 minutes.
Well, as I said, we're not gonna drag this out
Yes.
too long, but perhaps on another occasion, you will tell us about your participation in, as I think, the drummer for Mike and the Skyrockets?
Not drummer.
Not the
The
drummer.
lead guitarist.
Lead
Singer.
I am under the impression from some of the things I've heard that Asaad.
I just was building a kind of impression and some kind of gravitas. There you go.
The man who apparently introduced rock and roll to Egypt. So,
Dubious honor, but true.
as I said, one of the most interesting people I know. I see a question here.
Yeah, I thought that Harris, as he, right before walking off, he was going to make a off-the-cuff thing, saying that he was doing on more, like a more radical, way, you know, to be, you know, working in a very sort of a leftist way. I thought it was gonna make that declaration, I'm still waiting for it.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, I can't. No, I see another hand.
Congratulations, Asaad, to the cast and crew. Well done. I was curious, do you have a piece of kind of advice or experience that sticks with you in every production you go into, something you carry with you, something you always kind of percolates?
Well, I don't know if it's a piece of advice, but the thing that keeps me wanting to go to the next one is discovering a new family. It always ends up being that because of the actors and talent that I have the good fortune of working with, but it's just discovery of new truths, discovery of how to tell a story. That's what we all are. We're storytellers, find beginning and end. And so this is what I really seek every time, and the fulfillment comes from arriving at it, as we all have with this production, which was very rewarding in the closeness and the mutual understanding and respect that developed within the 9 of us working on stage and then off stage with the support people working. But I also want to add that Barbara has been an extraordinary collaborator. It is very hard for a playwright, a writer of any kind, to let go of a word or a scene, because they're all gold.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a proliferation of gold and it gets too heavy to carry. So we have to let go of some of